Alright guys, how are we doing? Welcome to the video. Now, I spent years doing pretty much everything that the fitness industry told me. Things like chicken and rice, protein shakes, training 6 days a week, and on paper it looked good, right? But in reality, I had zero energy, zero drive, and honestly, like zero libido at an age where that should never have been an issue. And 15 years or 16 years later, I found a thing that actually really changed everything, really. And it had nothing to do with tracking macros. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how I eat to stay lean, build muscle, and genuinely feel good without obsessing over food all the time. So this is the framework that I wish someone would have just given me to begin with. So here it is. So here's what I see constantly. There's guys out there, they're actually tracking every single macro, they're tracking calories, and they're creating a chronic stress response in the body. So on paper, they're eating clean, right? But their hormones are absolutely destroyed. They are chugging protein shakes, thinking that more protein equals more muscle. They're training hard, but they're running on empty all the time. And the frustrating thing is with this, they're doing what they've been told. The problem here isn't the discipline. The problem is the information that is wrong. And believe me, I was that guy. Chicken and rice every single meal, protein powder and everything. Raw milk wasn't even on my radar. That was maybe dangerous, right? And I was always in this calorie deficit. And yeah, I looked okay, but I felt pretty awful. I had no libido, no motivation, and this brain fog constantly. So what you're looking at here on the right is what happened when I actually stopped following that and I changed to this new way of eating. Now, really, the moment everything changed was when I stopped asking, how do I actually look better? And started asking, how do I actually feel better inside? And that was it, really. It's very simple. And that was literally the entire shift. Because a lot of, the fitness coaches, they won't tell you this, but a great physique is a byproduct of being genuinely healthy on the inside, right? The moment I started eating for energy, hormones, and digestion rather than aesthetics, my body changed more in probably 6 months than it did in the previous 3 years. So the first principle, food versus product. A lot of men simply aren't eating real food. They're just eating these engineered products. And the distinction is very simple. Would your great grandparents recognize it? If there's a boardroom of people behind what you're about to put into your mouth, it is probably a product. So you can just put it back. This is a very, very simple rule that eliminates pretty much 90% of the garbage from most diets. So this is one you can just start today if you're not doing this already. Second principle, building every meal around quality protein. And I want to emphasize quality because there's a massive difference between a grass-fed steak and a whey protein shake, right? Even if the macros look very similar on paper. So I eat grass-fed beef daily, pasture eggs whole, not just egg whites. I have things like raw milk. You always see it in my stories. I have organ meats when I can. I have wild caught fish when the quality's there. And you probably need less protein than what you actually think, but you almost certainly need better quality than you're already getting. Third and fourth principles, do not fear carbs and do not fear fat. Carbs are not the enemy. Seed oils and chronic stress are the problem. Things like white rice, potatoes, honey, seasonal fruit, these all protect against cortisol. Then moving on to fats, things like butter, ghee, tallow, whole eggs, dairy fat. These are what your hormones are literally built from, right? So the biggest upgrade that you can make right now is just removing industrial seed oils and just replacing them with traditional fats. It sounds very simple, but this shit doesn't need to be overcomplicated, and this is what it's all about. Fifth principle, and probably the most overlooked out of all of them, is quality over quantity. Macro ratios are irrelevant if what you're eating is sprayed in pesticides, raised on antibiotics, and processed in a factory. For the most part, I'll go organic and grass-fed whenever I can. Not because it's like trendy or whatever, but because pesticides are literally endocrine disruptors and quality directly affects nutrient density. So of course, source the best that you can afford, but this matters way more than any supplement that you're ever going to buy. So just focus on this before you go into all the supplements and things like that. So to bring it all together, this is the Achilles framework, very simple 5 principles. Number 1, eat real food, right? This is very simple. Number 2, building meals around quality protein. And number 3, don't fear carbs or fat. You need to be fearing seed oils instead, right? If you take anything away from this today, this is going to improve your life tenfold. And then number 4, prioritize quality over quantity always, right? And then number 5, trust your biology, your energy, your libido, your sleep. These are your real metrics, not numbers on an app. Nutrition doesn't have to control your life. It needs to be supporting your life, right? I spent 16 years figuring this out so that you don't have to. When you eat to nourish rather than restrict, your physique will follow, right? And this happens every single time. But if you want my direct support applying this, the link to work with me one-to-one is in the description. But if you're not ready for that yet, that's fine. Come and join Sons of Achilles. This is my free community. The link's also down there as well. But thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.